Now from OP Khanna, the chapter number 17 to 22 are included in your syllabus, and those are the chapters which are important from examination point of view. And this chapter number 17 to 22 that covers your module number 4, 5 and 6. So that is what we will see now. So this is chapter number 17, that is supervisory and leadership. What we are discussing is now module number 4, 5 and 6. Module number 1, 2 and 3 is done. Now we are going through module number 4, then 5 and then 6. So 3 modules are left. So the reference material is OP Khanna. Chapter number 17 to chapter number 22. I think screen is not visible because I am not present here. Yeah, is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So chapter number 17 deals with the leadership. So earlier there was a concept of foreman, and foreman was also designated by supervisor. So how do you define a supervisor? He is a person who is in charge, or he is the coordinator of the activities for a certain group, and that group is engaged in some task. So foreman was a sandwich actually between the management and the worker, or we can say he is a link between the management and the workers. And the role of foreman or supervisor is very crucial because he has to handle the management as well as he has to handle the worker also. He is the person actually who implement the policies, or who gives the shapes to the policies. So he has to take the workman or the peoples who are working under him and achieve the task. So he passes information vertically upward and downward. Vertically upward and downward means he passes the information from the management to the worker and from the worker to the management. And he is directly dealing with the worker. So let us study what are the duties and responsibilities of the supervisor. So here it is. So the duties are towards the management, towards the workers, towards the colleagues, that is his fellow supervisors, then towards his own work. So the duties of supervisors has been divided into 4 categories. So first is towards the management. role of the supervisor is very critical as and it is important also as he has to achieve the goals or the targets or the tasks which has been set by the management or which has been given by the management. And when worker was strong, that is when union was strong, that time it was very difficult for supervisor to handle the workers because the slight, you know, uh, aggressive work will lead him into trouble. And there are cases in the industries which has happened. The supervisors were used to be threatened. आ जाओ गेट के बाहर देखते हैं like that. Sometimes the supervisors were given the protection also, police protection because of this kind of threats. आ जाओ बाहर देखते हैं. So he never used to go or leave out the factory. He used to stay in the factory itself, away from his family. If at all he wants to leave the factory, then he was escorted by police. Of course, slowly the situation changed because of the globalization. And workers also understood their role, their responsibility. And yeah, started deteriorating as well. So that doesn't mean that work of the supervisor become easy. Still, he has to scratch his head regarding how to get the work done from the workers. So probably you might have read this duties and responsibilities towards the management. That is, he has to transmit the management policies to the workers. He is the responsible for all the work. Workers' feelings means he has to transmit the workers' suggestions below or workers' feelings or whatever the workers' request are to the management. That many times there is no drinking water facility or the washrooms are not maintained properly or complaints about the refreshment. So this is what he has to put forward to the management. Most important is he has to keep the management informed about the work in progress because he cannot simply go on getting the request or the complaints of the workers. He has to also see that the work is also done and the required production is also obtained within a given time. In any priority or urgent jobs or any matters which needs attention, urgent attention, that he has to give the priority. Then any cases of promotions, transfers, suspension of the workers that he has to discuss with the management on regular basis. Then, as I told, that supervisor and foreman should always come out of the routine activities and should be involved in developmental activities. So he has to always plan and devise the method to improve the efficiency and the quality. Then the most important is he has to devise the ways to minimize the waste and scrap. In record keeping, documentation, report, information system. So that is also a part of supervisor's work towards the management. So management importance is information system that we call as the MIS is also one of the important functions of the supervisor. Then what are his duties or responsibilities towards the workers? So he has to inform or instruct worker what are the company's policies, procedures, what the company's vision, like we also tell the students that what is the course objectives, what is the program objectives, what is the vision, what is the mission of the institution. We explain it to the students in the first lecture. So like that, he has to inform the company policies and procedures. Then what are the right methods of doing the job? What are the jobs which are ahead? He has to also tell the worker that what are the management plans, future plans, what they are going to do. Are they going to implement any certification, ISO certifications? So even as I told that even the helper or even the sweeper also should know that what management plans are. So it has to be very vibrant, and that's why the role of the supervisor is very crucial. He has to keep informed because whenever this auditor comes for auditing, they ask anyone, आपको पता है क्या हम लोग काय के लिए आए? So everybody in the plant till the bottommost level should know what the management is doing, what they expect, what they want to do, and this information is passed by supervisor to the lowermost person. And what we are discussing now, what are his supervisor's duties and responsibilities towards the worker. So let's have a look on this. One more. So the supervisor would not be short tempered or hot tempered. You have to listen patiently to the workers. There is a way to get confidence. Be very patient. The discipline is most important. Just to maintain the discipline. Discipline means like reporting in time, living in time, then working properly, no mischiefs. What is nothing but discipline. Talking, use of abusive language, then throwing cloths or throwing rags towards each other. So this kind of mischiefs keeps on happening. So this is what he has to stop. Then his important task is that he has to develop a sense of belonging in the workers. Must maintain neat, clean, safe working conditions. It means he has to take care of people, like people to and with the help of them, he has to maintain neat, clean, and safe working conditions. Reduction in number of accidents is very much important. That is, safe working condition is very much important in any industry because that may put organization into loss. So it is one of the important duty of the supervisor. Sometimes even if the work may suffer, but we have to give the priority for the safe work. Limit the work or the targets and not achieved. That is okay. Yes, that is acceptable. But not at the cost of accident or not at the cost of somebody's life.
Sorry, your voice is cracking.
Hello. Is it okay now? Hello. Hello. Is it fine?
Better, sir.
Yeah. An equal distribution of the work as far as possible. He has to avoid the bias, not be biased to a particular worker or a set of workers. So he has to divide the work accordingly. Actually, one person only is doing the work, lot of work, and some workers are relaxing. And this is the common thing which happens in this. And because of this, the supervisors are beaten also. आप मेरे को ही काम ज़्यादा है कि वो तो पूरा दिन आराम करते हैं. These are the common sentences which we hear on the shop floor. Then just to encourage and train the workers to take the responsibility. Then for promotion also, we should not be biased. For transferring the workers, that is from one department to other department, or from one branch to another branch, we should not be biased or impartial. So what he has to see that everybody should work in harmony, and what he has to see that there has to be a teamwork. Everybody should work as a team and to the targets, improve the image of the organization. So the teamwork is important. Then again, yes, the rate, that rating, appraisal of the worker is important in order to determine their wage rates and also for their promotion. So that is also his duty or responsibility is. And this thing keeps on happening, this biasing, etc. And that's why most of the companies, in many companies earlier, there used to be lot of tussle between the supervisor and workers. I can tell you even some murders has happened. The supervisors were stabbed, they were killed to death on the gates of the company. The moment he leaves, this is work. uh, He has crossed the gate. 100 meters outside the gate, supervisors were stabbed by the workers. Because why 100 meters outside the gate? Because if it is 100 meters outside the gate, that doesn't come in the jurisdiction of the company. The company is not responsible. If anything happens inside the plant or even within the 100 meters of the plant, then company management is responsible. The moment it is, let's say, the plant is at Powai, L&T. In these cases, I am talking about L&T. If the plant is at Powai and the supervisor is stamped at October, the company will not be responsible. But if he is stamped on the gate of the company, then definitely the company will be responsible for that. Of course, even if he is stamped at October, the police investigations which will come for the investigations, but the responsibility doesn't lie with the company because he was quite away, he was quite away from the company premises. But this thing should not happen, and the supervisor has to handle or has to work accordingly. Many times it is noticed also that in a particular shift or under the supervision of a particular person, the production rates are much higher. The people or the workers they work happily. This is observed. So this is a skill of supervisor to get the work done, to see that people's work in harmony, cooperation, and they work as a team. Then he has to see that there is a initiative taken by the worker. There is a something called the ownership. That is, workers should feel that this is their own company. He has to develop that interest. He has to motivate. He himself should be punctual, leader, so that he can set a good example. Then what are his duties toward the fellow supervisors? So just flip through this. What are his duties towards his colleagues or fellow supervisors? So fellow supervisors means his colleagues. Because in large companies there will be different sections, like say turning section. So there will be a supervisor in turning section, milling section, branding section, gear cutting section. So every section will have at least one supervisor. So what are his duties? That he has to cooperate with each and every supervisor. Finally, the company's policies should be met. He has to give respect to the suggestions of his colleagues or fellow supervisors. Then coordination of work. This is very important with other departments, like the jobs which are going from turning to milling or milling to drilling. If there is any priority, then he has to cooperate. He cannot say to that milling supervisor, नहीं नहीं नहीं, मैंने अभी ये लगाया है, हाँ, उसको 2 दिन जाएगा, उसके बाद मैं तुम्हारा जॉब लगाऊंगा. ऐसा नहीं. If there is any priority, because see now this is we are talking about flexible manufacturing system. हाँ, so depending upon the customer's requirement, we have to fulfill the orders. We cannot say customers, कि नहीं, you will get after 15 days, because customers, if he has alternative source, then he will not pay. He will go to other manufacturer. So you are losing the customer. So he has to coordinate in such cases. Whatever information other supervisor is asking, he has to provide. Suppose he is asking when this job will be ready, or when you are going to take this law, or anything about jigs fixtures, whether he has or not, toolings. So all the information he has to give it. Any common problems that he has to discuss with him, that with him means his fellow supervisor. Sometimes there are shortage of workers in other sections. So in that case, he can give his workers, that is workers from his section, if provided his work is not going to suffer. So there should not be any ill feeling among his fellow supervisors. Then what are his routine duties? Routine duties include he has to plan the work daily basis. Of course, that weekly plans, fortnightly plans, monthly plans he receives from production planning and control department. But still, at the end of the day, he has to plan for the next day. It is tomorrow. Uh, what is he going to load on machine A, machine B, machine C, machine D? Whether the adequate peoples are there or not, whether the tools are there or not, whether the raw material has come or not, or whether the material from milling has come or not. So all this he has to arrange. Otherwise, next day what will happen? Yes, you tell him, "Arey, this is what you have to do." But then worker will say, "Sab, material किधर है? मटेरियल ला के देंगे तो साहब इसका टूल नहीं है. अदरवाइज जैसे सर इसमें ये थ्रेडिंग टूल लगता है, तो थ्रेडिंग टूल है ही नहीं स्टोर्स में. सो दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू प्लान a day before or 2 days before, just to make sure that all this material is available. Necessary equipments and tools are also available. Otherwise, unnecessarily there will be waste of time. Then many times this happens, especially those who are not those the industries which are not mass production industry. These things keeps on happening. So in that case, he has to have alternative arrangements, alternative job. ठीक है, चलो अभी ये जॉब में चलो टूल नहीं है, चलो दूसरा जॉब लो. But for the second job also, you have to see that everything is available. Otherwise, worker will feel that यू आर यूजलेस। दूसरा जॉब मेरे को लेने को बोलता है, उसमें भी वही प्रॉब्लम है, उसका भी मटेरियल नहीं है, टूल नहीं है। तो दिस शुड नॉट हैपन। देन as per the workforce, he has to distribute the work, he has to do the work. Then he has to see that as per the schedule, whatever is been given, the work is being done or not. Then material handling, proper material handling. The moment the work is done, it is his duty to see that it is moved to another department. Is to see, because we are talking about one page flow. We are talking about zero inventory. So he has to see that workpiece should go for further processing. It should not remain in its section. Many times when the general manager takes the round, the first question he will ask, ये मटेरियल इधर काय के लिए पड़ा है? And if you are not able to give the satisfactory answer, then unnecessarily you will get the scolding. You should be able to tell, नहीं साहब वो ट्रॉली लेने को भेजा है, या वो फोकलिफ्ट का ड्राइवर नहीं है, या क्रेन इज नॉट अवेलेबल, समथिंग लाइक दैट, satisfactory reasons. So he has to see that there is a smooth flow of the work, and he has to coordinate the different sections, work of the different sections, then whether the work is being produced in correct quantity, and most important is quality. See here, that's why earlier there was separate departments like production department and quality control department, inspection department. But now there is no inspection. The production department, he has to see that he produces the correct quantity, correct quantity in terms of the quality. Earlier the importance was for the quantity. 300 का target है तो 300 बनाने का बस. So production manager was crazy, or he was mad only to meet the quantity. So there was a lot of compromise on the quality. कैसा भी करके चलो बनाओ 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 ऐसा. But nowadays that is not so. The quality is also responsibility given to the production. He has to produce the correct quantity and the correct quality. And remember, the quality production or the quality products is not because of the inspectors. It is because of the process. It is because of the peoples. See, there are two things. Either you should have a good process, that is good equipment, good toolings, or you should have very good high skilled people. So even if the machine is not in good condition, if the peoples are skilled, they can produce a quality work. Or if the equipments are good and the peoples are not skilled, since since the equipments are good, the quality work can be achieved. So two things, that is invest in good equipments or invest in good people. But everywhere it is trade off. Everywhere it is trade off. It is not too high class equipments or not too high class peoples. Like if the diploma holder is required, the management doesn't recruit PhD, or if 0.02 millimeter accuracy machines are required, management do not go for 1 micron accuracy machines. They have trade-off. That is, okay, instead of diploma, they will recruit say degree holders. Like this happens everywhere. Like take an example of Mazgaon job. So their draftsmen earlier, 2 years before, they used to take SSC pass and train them for draftsmen. Then over a period, they started taking ITA draftsmen. ITA, they have a trade, 1 year ITA. Then 2 years ITA, trained, 2 years course, those who have done 2 years course. Then further, those who have done 2 years course plus those who have done NCTVT, it is apprenticeship. Then slowly they switched over to diploma holders. Diploma holders, they were taken as a draftsman. Then degree holders, they were taken as a draftsmen. But the designation was designer. Same is the case on CNC machines also. Most of the companies, earlier it was like same SSC, then ITS, then diploma holder, and now even the degree holders, they are working on the CNC machines. So what should be the qualifications of a foreman? So you should possess a suitable engineering qualification to understand the technical aspects of the job, production processes and equipments. You should possess the skills to meet the demands of the job. You should have a practical ability. You should demonstrate that so that if sometimes the worker they try to see whether supervisor really knows the things or not. मतलब बोलते हैं ना कितना पानी में है. This particularly happens when the new supervisor comes. So they will try to test his knowledge. So that's why at these circumstances you should be able to prove yourself, your mechanical ability, your practical ability. Uh, then your skills. How do you give the instructions to the people? How do you give the instruction to the highly skilled people or the skill or the senior people? So that is again a skill. How do you to get the work done from the senior peoples or the skilled peoples? It's not a joke. You have to because they have been working for quite many years, 35 years. तो उनका दिमाग में रहता है ये अभी कल का बच्चा मेरे को सिखा रहा है. That should not happen. Then supervisor should be familiar with production control, all the techniques of production control, quality control, safety norms, safety practices, operation, maintenance of the machine, documentation, then merit rating techniques, then costing and estimating, that is quotation. You should be aware of the costing and estimating. Like if this job has to be done in half an hour, moment it goes for 1 hour, its costing is going to be double. So which is harmful, which is going to reduce the profit. If this particular machine is going to remain idle, or if this worker is going to remain idle for 2 hours, then unnecessarily the money is being spent. Finally, the profit will be less. So you should be able to estimate. You should know अभी 1 घंटा idle है तो what is the payment I am giving. I means management is giving to the worker. So if it is 1600 for 8 hours, so he is being paid 200 rupees per hour. So if he is idle for 2 hours, then it is a loss of 400 rupees to the organization. So दिस इज व्हाट इट यू शुड सी वर्कर्स तो क्या वो तो सिंपली बैठेगा नहीं मेरे पास मटेरियल नहीं है या मशीन ब्रेक डाउन है या टूल नहीं मिल रहा इट इज नॉट हिज ड्यूटी टू search for the tools or to search for the raw material. Then he should have ability, supervisor should have ability to train the worker. He should know what is labor psychology. He should be aware of modern developments, techniques. So these are the qualities of a foreman: democratic leadership, result conscious. And see, finally it is the result. Finally, you have to give the result. Then judgment, decision making. मटेरियल नहीं है टूल नहीं है you should have complete knowledge of man material machines and even methods then versatility and ingenuity you should have a cooperative and helpful attitude towards others then no biasing no impartial should not be impartial he should be firm on his decisions if it is proper and should have ability to develop an organization. That's why I have been always emphasizing that as an engineer, you should be engaged in developmental work. Important quality is that you should plan and control the work. He has to accept his responsibility and complete it. So these are the some of the qualities of the foreman. So what is leadership? So sometimes even if you don't have proper qualification or experience, if you can demonstrate the leadership qualities, then nothing like our political leaders. They may not be educated, qualified, but they are demonstrating their leadership qualities. What is the definition? Leadership is the knack of getting other people to follow you and to do willingly the things you want them to do. Union leaders, Datta Saman was a great leader, union leader. Thousands and lakhs of people used to follow him. Just he has to say something, close the work, stop the work, immediately the workers will be stopping the production and they will move out of the plant. So leadership means to inspire confidence and trust. That is why this happens. It's only because of the trust, so that there is the maximum cooperation from the employees within the control of management. Okay, we will continue this next time. Thank you very much.